Today our topic is how to use Stoicism to improve decision-making. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to live a good life by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is not about being emotionless or cold, but about understanding our emotions and using reason to guide our actions. When we apply Stoic principles to decision-making, we can make better choices, stay calm under pressure, and live a more fulfilling life. Let's explore how Stoicism can help us improve our decision-making step by step. First, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control. This is one of the most important ideas in Stoic philosophy. We often waste time and energy worrying about things we cannot change, like the weather, other people's opinions, or past mistakes. But Stoicism reminds us that the only things we can truly control are our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. When making decisions, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, focus on what you can do to make the best choice. For example, if you are deciding whether to take a new job, you cannot control how your boss or coworkers will behave, but you can control how you prepare for the interview, how you present yourself, and how you evaluate the offer. By focusing on what you can control, you reduce stress and make clearer, more rational decisions. Second, Stoicism encourages us to practice self-awareness. To make good decisions, we need to understand our own values, desires, and fears. Stoics believe that many of our problems come from chasing things that are not truly important, like money, fame, or approval from others. Instead, we should focus on living a virtuous life, which means being honest, kind, courageous, and wise. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what is truly important to me? What kind of person do I want to be? For example, if you are deciding whether to end a relationship, think about whether this relationship aligns with your values and helps you grow as a person. By understanding your own priorities, you can make decisions that are true to yourself and lead to long-term happiness. Third, Stoicism teaches us to accept uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and this can make decision-making difficult. We often fear making the wrong choice or worry about what might happen in the future. But Stoics remind us that we cannot predict or control everything. Instead of trying to eliminate uncertainty, we should accept it as a natural part of life. When making decisions, focus on doing your best with the information you have, and be prepared to adapt if things don't go as planned. For example, if you are deciding whether to start a business, you cannot know for sure if it will succeed, but you can take calculated risks, learn from your mistakes, and adjust your strategy along the way. By accepting uncertainty, you become more resilient and open to new opportunities. Fourth, Stoicism encourages us to think long-term. Many of our decisions are influenced by short-term emotions or desires, like anger, fear, or the desire for instant gratification. But Stoics believe that we should consider the long-term consequences of our actions and make choices that align with our overall goals. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, how will this choice affect me in the future? Will I regret this decision later? For example, if you are deciding whether to argue with someone, think about whether winning the argument is worth damaging the relationship. By thinking long-term, you can avoid impulsive decisions and make choices that lead to lasting happiness. Fifth, Stoicism teaches us to detach from outcomes. We often judge our decisions based on the results, but Stoics remind us that we cannot control the outcome, only our own efforts. A good decision is not necessarily one that leads to success, but one that is made with wisdom, courage, and integrity. When you make a decision, focus on doing your best and let go of the need for a specific result. For example, if you are deciding whether to apply for a promotion, focus on preparing a strong application and performing well in the interview, rather than worrying about whether you will get the job. By detaching from outcomes, you reduce anxiety and focus on what truly matters, your own actions and character. 6. Stoicism encourages us to practice gratitude. When making decisions, it is easy to focus on what we lack or what could go wrong. But Stoics believe that we should appreciate what we already have and see challenges as opportunities for growth. By practicing gratitude, we can approach decisions with a positive mindset and make choices that reflect our values. For example, if you are deciding whether to move to a new city, instead of worrying about what you might lose, think about the new experiences and opportunities you will gain. By focusing on the positives, you can make decisions with confidence and optimism. 7th, Stoicism teaches us to learn from failure. No one makes perfect decisions all the time, and Stoics believe that failure is a natural part of life. Instead of fearing failure or avoiding difficult decisions, we should see mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. When a decision does not go as planned, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I improve next time? For example, if you make a poor financial decision, instead of feeling ashamed, use it as a lesson to be more careful with your money in the future. By embracing failure, you become more resilient and better equipped to handle challenges. 8th, Stoicism encourages us to seek wisdom from others. No one has all the answers, and Stoics believe that we can learn a lot from the experiences and advice of others. When making decisions, don't be afraid to ask for help or seek guidance from people you trust. For example, if you are deciding whether to go back to school, talk to people who have been through a similar experience and learn from their insights. By seeking wisdom from others, you can make more informed decisions and avoid common mistakes. 9th, Stoicism teaches us to stay calm under pressure. Decision-making can be stressful, especially when the stakes are high. But Stoics believe that we can remain calm and focused by practicing mindfulness and self-discipline. When faced with a difficult decision, take a moment to breathe, clear your mind, and focus on the present moment. Remind yourself that you have the strength and wisdom to handle the situation. For example, if you are deciding how to handle a crisis at work, take a few deep breaths, assess the situation calmly, and make a plan based on reason rather than panic. By staying calm, you can think more clearly and make better decisions. Finally, Stoicism reminds us to take action. It is not enough to think about what the right decision is. We must also have the courage to act on it. Stoics believe that action is the key to living a good life, and that we should not let fear or doubt hold us back. When you have made a decision, take the first step and commit to following through. For example, if you decide to start a new hobby, sign up for a class or buy the necessary materials. By taking action, you turn your decisions into reality and move closer to your goals. In conclusion, Stoicism offers powerful tools for improving decision-making. By focusing on what we can control, practicing self-awareness, accepting uncertainty, thinking long-term, detaching from outcomes, practicing gratitude, learning from failure, seeking wisdom from others, staying calm under pressure, and taking action, we can make better choices and live a more fulfilling life. Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It is a practical guide for navigating the challenges of life with wisdom and resilience. So the next time you face a difficult decision, remember these Stoic principles and approach the situation with clarity, courage, and confidence.